What's up, guys? Ben Garton here again to answer another question. This question was brought up to me by my dad. I just had to pick him up from somewhere. I just came home a minute ago, and on the way home we talked about the new East Coast location. I'm enjoying the new place. I'm loving it. As we were talking, the question that he came up with was, why isn't there a unified martial arts system to teach to everybody? And my answer to that was, it kind of depends on who's teaching and like how they're moving at the stage of their life in which they're teaching, to the environment that this system or the curriculum of martial arts is taught, and the situation that it was brought up. So a few examples was, let's start with like who's teaching and how they're moving. What I mean by that, something I read a little while ago. For example, take an instructor teaching, say, Taekwondo. Let's say like traditional like Taekwondo forms, all right? Say he starts as an instructor, say 20 years old, right? Very young, he's flexible, he's been training all his life. He's very fast, very flexible, very fluid with his movements. Then say 40 years later, 60 years old, he's much older, his muscles have become more stiff, he's very tight, he may not be able to get into deep stances as deep as he was when he was 20 years old, his kicks may not be as quick as they were when he was 20. So take that same instructor when he was 20, teaching someone a form, and when he was 60, teaching the same form. His movements are going to be different, but as he's teaching, his students are going to be emulating his movements. So these students over here who were learning when he was 20, their movements are going to be much different than the students learning from him when he's in his 60s. So there's two different movements going on from the same instructor teaching, just at different stages of his life, where he's more agile, more flexible, quicker, to being a little bit more tight in his muscles and not being as deep as he can be in his stances. That's one example. So there's two different kinds of movements. Another example is the environment that you're in. One example, Taekwondo is very well known for its kicks. A lot of Korean martial arts, Taekwondo, Taekyon, Hapkido, they're known for their kicks. And I don't know if this is correct, but something I read again a while ago. A legend says that the reason why a lot of these Korean martial arts are well known for their kicks is because these traditional Korean martial arts were brought up in the mountainous regions of Korea. And with all the mountains there, all the hiking, all the climbing, all the running on the hills and the mountains and stuff like that, that built and strengthened their leg muscles. So they decided to use the strongest, most powerful part of their body as a weapon, creating martial arts that involved a lot of kicking, a lot of foot fighting. So that's one way that the environment can affect how a martial art or a combat system develops. And also take the situation that they're in. For example, capoeira. If you guys don't know what capoeira is, it's a Brazilian martial art. The way this was brought up was African slaves. Slaves were brought from Africa to do work in Brazil. And as they were working as slaves, they were the practice of martial art was illegal. It was banned. So what they did to create capoeira, they took their traditional African martial art techniques and disguised them in a dance. If you guys ever see capoeira, you'll see the movements are very fluid. It's about speed, it's about constant movement, it's about balance. So they took their traditional African martial arts techniques and disguised them in this dance. I forget what this is called, but they're stepping back and forth. It's a lot like a dance. And this is where a lot of tricking comes from, right? A lot of cartwheels, you know, scoots and stuff like that. A lot of these types of movements come from capoeira, and it's very acrobatic. So as they're training these martial arts disguised as a dance, the people watching them who don't know that it's a martial art think they're just dancing. They just think that they're dancing, but really what they're doing, they're practicing fight techniques. So it's kind of a martial arts style that can that developed through in secret within the community of the slaves there. So that's one way that, like, the situation that it was brought up in can develop a martial art. So yeah, that's really all I got for today. Again, I absolutely love talking about martial arts. So if you guys have any questions at all about martial arts, kicks, stunts, fight choreography, please leave them down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer them. If I know the answer to them, I will answer your question. If I don't, I'll probably do some research and then get back with you as soon as I can, all right? Thank you guys again so much for watching. Ben Garton, Kickmaster, out.